going to discuss Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, we discussed him a couple times on the channel because his personal life went viral. You know, his girlfriend was embarrassing him publicly, in my opinion, via some of the various ways that she behaved that got caught on camera and video. And they, so much so that they had to like go on live together to talk about their relationship history. And Travis Hunter's had to defend his relationship decisions and his personal decisions, talking about how he doesn't care what people think, and blah blah blah. And it's just all kind of stuff going on with this situation. A lot of people have been warning against continuing to be with this woman because the internet has kind of been admonishing Travis Hunter, saying be careful, because she kind of looks like she's the type of girl that'll, take advantage of who you are and all the work that you put in. You don't want to be with an extractor. Well, we're going to have to move on past that because they done got married. And, according to the reports, if you read them, they got married without any protections for Mr. Hunter. There's no prenup. There's no nothing. So Cameron is not a fan of Travis Hunter's decision to do this. And the internet as well in general is kind of questioning whether it was a good idea for Travis Hunter to tie the knot with this woman after so much hoopla over the last year and some change. So this says Cameron flames NFL star for not signing prenup. Cameron has criticized highly touted NFL rookie Travis Hunter for getting married without signing a prenuptial agreement. The Heisman Trophy winner married his long-term girlfriend last week, but the Harlem star was not impressed with his savvy. He said on It Is What It Is, they'll try to hit you with that stuff. Why get a prenup if you really love me? So I'm not going to read Cameron's quotes because we're going to play the video. His co-host Mace also chimed in. I think when it comes to the young lady, she does have like different things that have transpired. For me as a dad, if it was my son, I would definitely be concerned. Hunter has yet to respond to the comments. So we'll go ahead and just get out of this and we'll actually play this sound. So let me cue this up. So this is that episode of It Is What It Is with Cameron and Mason. They're just giving their opinions on Travis Hunter marrying this woman. Her name is like Lene something. I forget. Check out previous videos on the channel. We discussed Travis Hunter. Go through our library. Check out what we had to say about that. But here's Cameron and Mace giving their thoughts on Travis Hunter tying the knot.
Thing before we wrap. So congratulations to Travis Hunter and his wife, Leanna. They finally got married over the weekend. He surprised her at the wedding with the black Mercedes-Benz AMG. So, of course, on the internet, they faced a lot of criticism for different things. A lot of people have been concerned on them not having a prenup agreement, sources say. Mace, what's your opinion on the young love?
I don't know. I'm gonna sit this one out. I think when it comes to the young lady, she does have like different things that have transpired. For me as a dad, if that was my son, I would definitely be concerned about. I think there's other ways you could protect his assets, but I definitely would think he should look in the direction of protecting his assets. Maybe not with a prenup, but there's other things you could do these days.
Yeah, they'll try to hit you with that shit. Why I get a prenup if you really love me? If you really love me, sign the prenup. What you here for? If you here for love, just sign this joint, and you don't get none of my money because the love is free. What you need? What are we doing here? I'm not signing. Do what you want, Travis. That's up to you. I'm not signing a prenup unless Shorty getting as much money as I get, or more than me. If you're not getting more than me, you have to sign a prenup. It just works like that for me. I don't get it. I don't know why love needs to be defined by a piece of paper. Why we can't just be love each other and do paperwork got to do with it. Look at Remy and Pat. Shit going crazy all weekend over that, man. Shit, wow, my nigga. All because of this piece of paper. They was black love. Now, I'm not taking nobody's side. Remy's my friend and Pap's my friend. I don't have a side in this. All because of some paper. Shit is messy all weekend. Remy pulling out pawn shop receipt, talking about her Cartier bracelet is missing. Pap talking about he knocked the nigga out that she's dating. It's been a mess all weekend. You know why? Because of this piece of paper. When you're a girlfriend or boyfriend, just leave. And I know squatters' right. You ain't staying that long to where you think you live here. They'll run that too, fellas. Don't get caught up in that. Try and kick her out, and it's been 8 months, and now she got squatters' rights and all that shit. Yo, get that 10-day joint, go home for 10 and come back for 10 if you really like her. Because at the end of the day, it's too many laws for the person without the money. Now, you know who's probably a sucker to all the females? Now, it's cool when they do it.
All right. So he brought up an interesting point about, the institution of marriage and like the marriage contract and why is that necessary if it is about love? Why is the step of marriage necessary? But yeah, so Travis Hunter went ahead and married her, the Lene woman. So yeah, what is your take on that? And what do you think about what Cam said?
Cam is gonna be Cam. He's gonna say what he's gonna say. In this situation here, I'll take the Mace route in the sense of, hey, I'm gonna sit this one out. But if I were this guy's, I'm not. But if I was this guy's, guardian, I would be concerned about this young lady due to previous behaviors. And if you didn't get a prenup, just make sure that you do something to protect your assets. I think that's very fair to say, and I'll just leave it there because of how this conversation is so polarizing. And I'm definitely not going to try to play both sides with this, but it's a situation where the people that are saying, hey, let that man be him, let them do the things that they want to do. I understand that. I understand that so much so that I'm not going to sit here and put a digital footprint about me out here saying stuff because I can get that. That's not what I'm disputing. I'm not disputing that that's their love, that's their business, and let them do it. That's not what that's not my situation here. My situation here is there's a lot of smoke around here. And my job here is to go, where is that smoke coming from? Is there a fire? And then once we look at their relationship dynamics, it goes, well, the fire doesn't seem to be coming from Travis. It seems to be coming from her. So if you're about to go to the league, make sure you protect yourself if you plan on getting married with this one. I think that's pretty much what, that was where I was at. I wasn't in the pool of,
don't do it.
Yeah. Drop her and, cut off and, although that would be nice. But hey, man, if people want to look at my track record, I done had some stuff I should have dropped and I was still hanging around. You know what I'm saying? I had some evidence in my possessions and I still dealt with it. So I'm not saying I'm above this. So I get how it is, especially when you're a young man like Travis. So I'm not going to try to sit here and act holier than thou. But the whole thing is, if the whole internet and people that I know, Dion as well, you know what I'm saying, hey, if you look up to Dion so much, and him himself is saying, make sure you get a prenup with this situation here, I think I would listen to the person that I call a mentor and a leader in my life. You know what I'm saying? And so I think for the internet out here, it was pretty much internet concern for a young man that has such a bright and promising future.
Yeah.
That we've seen this story before. Hey, young man, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I saw nothing wrong with that in the first place. But then you have these people, the peanut gallery, you know what I'm saying, being very aggressive with saying that we're trying to disturb their love. That's not what we're doing, at least not from my perspective. I think it was just concern for a young man that seems to have a bright future, and that sometimes these crazy women could destroy a man. Not just whatever. I mean, literally ruin his career. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what the internet just didn't want to see that. So I'm with Mace with this, even though I said a lot. I said a whole bunch of nothing too. In the sense that this ain't my fight. Let him love on that woman the way he want to love on her. That's fine. If he want to get married in Tennessee or whatever the hell they got married at, because they got different laws over there, but she said that's how I go, and she want to get married in Tennessee and no prenup, and he went and did all that. That's on him. All right. And I'll let him have that. You know what I'm saying? And if he end up being with this woman for 30, 40 years and they got a lovely big old family and all that stuff, that is superb. But that still doesn't remove away the initial concern that we had from all the smoke and trying to find out where that fire coming from. So, hey man, have at it, Travis. I'm not trying to sit here and dunk on you. You know what I'm saying? You know, the dating scene ain't perfect. Nobody out here dating the perfect person. So it is what it is with that. But yeah, man, best of luck to you, bro. I wasn't surprised when I saw it was no prenup because I think the world felt that coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is with that. And I agree with Mace. And you know, as far as Cam's perspective, I agree with that as well. You know, and it's in the sense that why do we got to get paperwork involved? But you know, when you're dealing with certain people, man, you know, you can't say that. You know, you can't say, let's not do the wedding. Let's not, with certain people. You know, you can't say, man, let's just love each other for life. Ain't that just as good as marriage? Yeah, good luck with that one. But what are your thoughts, man, on Cam and Mace weighing in on Travis Hunter getting married with no prenup? What are your thoughts, bro?
Well, good luck to him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very much in your camp. I'm not going to say whether it was I personally would have insisted on protections. I would have. I'm going to just, you know, protect myself because, you know, to quote Rick Ross and Drake, you know, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, all of that good stuff. You know, I kind of built this thing. But it is what it is. He didn't go that route, didn't do the prenup thing. He didn't opt for the protections. If I am going to look at this optimistically in his favor, I'll say this. I do believe that the prospect of marriage is still, even to this day, realistic, even for people who are pro athletes. The thing that's messing it up is individuals who have no business being married getting married. That's what's muddying the waters. You have a lot of these guys who aren't really built for marriage doing it anyway. People like Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, why are you getting married? You know you for the streets. Stop getting married. Like, just stay for the streets. Stay single. Why are you getting married? That's dumb. And you see he's going through a lot of messiness as a result. Like, he shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. A lot of these guys getting caught up in these scandalous situations when it comes to women are men who shouldn't have been getting married in the first place because they're simply not built for it. And that's okay. Just don't get married. Like, you're rich and successful. No one's holding a gun to your head saying you're incomplete if you don't get married. I don't understand the pressure that these guys feel to go through with this process when they know deep down they're not built for it. And I've said this before and I'll say it again here. Every man knows whether he's built for this or not. We all know it. Every man knows whether he is for the streets or whether he is the commitment type. We all know if we are that type. And what happens is you get a lot of guys being dishonest and they're trying to be something that they are not in order to conform to some sort of societal norm. They feel as though it's their responsibility to get married. And so they go through with the process and end up cheating on a girl or still being out in the streets doing whatever because they shouldn't have been involved in the situation in the first place. Stay single. Don't get married. No one's forcing you to do this. If she leaves you because you don't want to marry her, let her go, bro. You have your pick of the litter. What woman is going to turn down the opportunity to be with you? A high caliber professional athlete. No, most women are going to sign up for that. They will. So you really have nothing to lose by succumbing you have nothing to lose by not succumbing to whatever pressure you've conjured up in your mind to get married. So that's what's confusing it. Because you look at, and I mentioned some of these names before, there are pro athletes who are married who seem to be fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence doesn't seem to have an issue with it. Mahomes is good with it. You look at guys like Stafford is good with it. You know, even some of the guys in the NBA who are getting married, like they're good with it. They're built for it. Steph's been married. Steph's married. He don't seem to have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, James Harden probably shouldn't get married.
Yeah, I don't think he should.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, James Harden, like if James Harden got married with no prenup tomorrow, I'd be like, what are you doing? That's
Yeah, he's an
dumb,
idiot.
bro. And the vast majority of the time that we see these situations with these pro athletes getting messy with divorces and child support and alimony and all of this other stuff, 9 times out of 10, what are the reports? Cheating, infidelity, other women. That's what it is the majority of the time. So it's like if you're gonna step out on these women, don't marry them. Stay single. And at the very least, do it when you're retired. Like if you retire, if you retire after your career is over, okay, fine, go ahead and try to get married. You have less to lose at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not advised because you still have the most to lose. Even if you have less to lose than when you were a player, compared to her, in all likelihood, you still have the most to lose. So I just don't get it. And the reason why I bring all of that up is to say, observing Travis Hunter, I personally get the impression that he might be someone who's built for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
I mean,
he's pretty solid with it.
yeah. Like the guy's like all about football. I don't really see no viral content of him being in the club or in the streets or any of that's mumbo jumbo. He's not on a yacht with a bunch of sex workers twerking on him. You know what I'm saying? When he's not all about football, he's gaming. He's sitting in the crib playing Call of Duty and all of this other stuff, on Twitch, streaming, playing video games. I kind of feel like his disposition and his mannerisms and his interests suggest to me that he's the kind of guy who's comfortable with commitment in marriage. And so even if there's smoke with this woman, maybe because he's built for it, he's not going to jeopardize that situation because he ain't going to be running around doing some of the stuff that these other guys do.
Just fair.
Right. So from that standpoint, I say good luck, bro. Godspeed.
Yeah.
I would personally have insisted on the prenup, but he didn't, and it is what it is. And I just kind of feel like, he's kind of a nerdy football kid. And so maybe he's good for it. He's built with it. He'll marry her and be happy, and they'll be together. Wonderful. Fairy tale, happy ending to a story. That's great. But it works for a guy cut from his cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that standpoint, I optimistically say it is what it is. But to some of these other dudes out here, bro, even guys who aren't pro athletes, but just guys in general who aren't built for this, trying to fit square pegs in round holes, go on these routes with these marriages, and y'all are marrying these women, and then they're going to take you for half your stuff because you're still in the streets. Like, just stay in the streets. Stay in the streets. Especially nowadays, no one's going to chastise you or judge you too harshly for being in the streets because nowadays being in the streets is cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's no social stigma attached to being in the streets. It's cool. It's liberating. So just stay in the streets if you're not built for this monogamy, commitment, marriage stuff. Don't muddy the waters up. And I feel like Travis Hunter won't do that. So I feel like this situation has as good a chance as any of actually making it and being successful. So, mazel tov.
Yeah, hey, so if there's any consolation here, you can rest on that, I guess. So, hey, man, because he's a solid kid from everything that I see, and that's why everybody was concerned. Because he looks so solid. Because if he was being Zion, nobody would give a damn. They'll just clown him, And but in this situation here, man, I saw more concern than clowning. So hey, best of luck to this young man. Best of luck with all of that. It's not easy being in a relationship. It's not easy being responsible in your relationship. It's not easy fighting, making up after fights. And I could only imagine it's even worse when the whole internet know your dirty laundry. So I'm wishing him the best with all of that, man. And hopefully he can stay focused enough to be everything that we would imagine he would be at the next level when it comes to athletics. And a very promising young man in other areas. So yeah, man, I'm just wishing him the best, bruh. you know, of course, on the surface of things, this doesn't seem like the right step or the right move. But you know, Godspeed, bro. Like you said, man.
Yeah.
You know, Godspeed. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck, man. He is going to immediately have an impact. Immediately.
I don't know, bro. With your boy Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
even know if he's gonna be he'll be able to catch a pass.
right. Yeah. Well, I hope if they put him on defense, he's going to have an impact for sure. If they let him play both sides of the ball. But yeah, I feel you on that. You know, offensively for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I wish him the best of luck. But my theory on this stuff is because men are the most in my opinion, men play the biggest role in whether a marriage works out or not. I believe that if a marriage fails for whatever reason, it is more likely than not that the majority of the responsibility for that is at the man's feet. Not because the woman didn't do any wrongdoing, but because the man didn't steer that situation in the appropriate way. And I kind of feel like him being cut from that particular cloth, it doesn't ensure that it won't happen in that way, but it at least creates some assurances that it can, be a positive experience that does last and it doesn't end, volcanically, like so many of these other situations involving these pro athletes that we see playing out every day. So, but yeah, on that note, that's a wrap for us. Conscious Approach, we are back. Took a week off, but we are back better than ever. I am JV Wins, and that is, of course, Dogon SS. Check us out on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Hit the subscribe button. If you have not already done so, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about where we went right or wrong with any of our videos, any of our topics. Hit that like button. Don't think that it misses us the value of you hitting that like and subscribe button, because you don't have to do it. Lord knows I don't hit the like and subscribe button on every video I watch. I very seldom do it. So for me to make the effort to do it, it means that it resonated with me and I want to be a part of that community. So we do not take that for granted when you do that for us. Check us out on Instagram at ConApproach, ConApproach. Check me out on Instagram at JVWins, JVWINS, and also check us out on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok as well. Slide on over to the TikTok page and follow us over there. We share our content there as well at ConApproach, ConApproach. Until next time, folks, as I always like to say, don't be a group thinker. Have a mind of your own. Think for yourself. And until next time, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. And the name is Dogon SS. And you can find me on Instagram at Dogon_SS, and YouTube, DraftKings, MySpace. All right. There's a social media platform, Dogon_SS out there, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and all that good stuff in there. And as JV Wins mentioned, all right, we out there on Spotify, you know what I'm saying? Amazon Music. Hey, man, we're also on Audible, bro. You knew that, bro? I clicked on Audible, man. I'm sitting here listening to a book. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, and then the next day came up with a podcast. I was like, hey, man, let me see if we on this. I clicked on that thing. Sure enough, bro, we out here on Audible, too. I said, God dang. So, hey, man, if you guys are some Audible audiobook listeners, man, our podcast out there too, man. Make sure you guys be tuning in on that. All right. So as I say on every podcast, guys, all right, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it player, and don't let anybody get you off your pivot. So until the next time, everybody, we greatly like you for subscribing, consciously leaving comments, and all that good stuff. All right, you already know, man. I got more rings than Robert Ory. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Yeah.
That's right. Thanks, everybody. Oh, shout out to Asante Johnson for chiming in on the chat. Surely appreciate it. And to everybody out there who's going to watch our videos on the upload tip, thanks in advance for leaving those comments. We are looking at them. We do engage. So thank you very much. Y'all keep us going, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Later. Cocaine. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hey, man.